अच्छा चलो ये स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं। एजोडाइज हमने वी वर डन विद एजोडाइज और ठीक है। फिर हमने वी डिड एस्टर्स, राइट। अच्छा एस्टर्स का हमने कंटिन्यू करना था। आई टोल्ड यू कि एस्टर्स आर फॉर्म्ड, दिस इज formation of esters, that's all अच्छा that's all old O levels, ठीक है, there's nothing new to it। तो उसी को आगे further continue करना था, which is के we know esters get formed, there's another way of forming esters and this other way is के ये जो दूसरा तरीका है esters form करने का, ठीक है, that one, अच्छा that one is you can form esters using acyl chlorides as well। अच्छा इसमें एस्टर्स के अंदर we left one thing which is के hydrolysis। I told you के there's acid hydrolysis and there's alkaline hydrolysis, ठीक है, of esters। तो दोनों के अंदर there's a slight difference and the difference is कि when you hydrolyze an ester, this means one thing that you have to note is alkaline hydrolysis leads to the production of soaps or salts, ठीक है। So there's this one point and that's okay, alkaline hydrolysis of esters, it produces soaps। So the question is what are soaps? तो soaps का ये कि salts होते हैं, ठीक है। So if you have an ester and you hydrolyze it using NaOH, so let's say I've got an ester with C double bond O and O in the middle of the carbon chain. This ester will break down, and when it does break down, ठीक है, it's going to break down in the middle. One side will turn into a carboxylic acid, the other side will turn into So one side will turn into a carboxylic acid and the OH is going to come back and the other side will turn back into an alcohol. Achha, but what happens is that the carboxylic acid ends up reacting with the alkali. It reacts with NaOH, ठीक है, जो भी alkali add की हुई है, reacts with the alkali, and when it does that, what happens now is since it reacts with the alkali, it's going to produce the salt of the carboxylic acid, which is going to be CO -1 and Na plus 1, ठीक है। तो ये एक छोटा सा पॉइंट है, ये याद रखना कि about alkaline hydrolysis of esters। अच्छा next one is कि esters हो गया। Now the next one is okay, there are other ways of forming esters and that's using acyl chlorides, ठीक है। So acyl chlorides, they form esters plus alcohols, it ends up forming esters and an HCl molecule, ठीक है। So that's another very important reaction। No specific conditions, a very fast reaction, no special conditions are required, so it's a fast vigorous reaction। No conditions, specific conditions are needed for this, it's going to happen on its own। So it's a unlike carboxylic acid, this reaction happens much more quickly, ठीक है। उसके लिए तो you needed concentrate sulfuric acid and nitric sorry and reflux, you don't need anything in this reaction। और इस reaction के अंदर this is what happens कि it's a very similar reaction that you have
सर
हाँ
सर आपने यहाँ से स्टार्ट किया?
हाँ यहीं से start मैं acyl chlorides का कह रहा हूँ कि acyl chlorides also form esters तो you've got alcohols अच्छा carbon is strongly positive and this oxygen has lone pairs which is negative तो होगा वही the lone pairs are going to get attracted to this carbon that's positive and बीच में से the HCl molecule is going to get eliminated ठीक है so over here the H and the Cl will eventually get eliminated and you'll get your product and the product is going to be an ester so RC double bond O and O and R and an HCl molecule
सर
gets
कोई कंडीशन तो नहीं होगा ना इसका, वैसे मतलब चाहिए भी नहीं होगा?
नहीं वो मैंने कहा था कोई कंडीशंस नहीं है
अच्छा
स्पेसिफिक ठीक है अच्छा प्लस सो एसाइल क्लोराइड्स दे फॉर्म एस्टर्स और कोई स्पेसिफिक कंडीशंस रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है ठीक है सो दिस इज एग्जैक्टली सो फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एस्टर्स में this is an important reaction now another important reaction is okay, phenols don't form esters phenols only form esters with acyl chlorides otherwise phenols don't form esters ठीक है they only form esters with acyl chlorides so that's another very important reaction so in this what's going to happen in this case is कि पहले तो ये सोचते हैं कि why do they only form esters with acyl chlorides and not carboxylic acids so this is what a typical phenol looks like it's got मतलब benzene होता है plus there is अच्छा plus there is OH attached अच्छा so you've got benzene and you've got an OH that's attached to it अच्छा ये अच्छा so why do phenols only form esters with acyl chloride because phenols के अंदर ना वो lone pair जो है ना that is actually not available it has mixed with I mean the lone pairs are mixed with benzene's bi-electron cloud so what happens is a normal carboxylic acid is not able to get attracted to this oxygen like in an acyl chloride the carbon has a very strong positive charge so even if the lone pair is mixing with the bi-electron cloud it's going to pull it back वो जाके उसके साथ जोड़ लेगा carboxylic acid will not be able to do that so acyl chloride remember that okay, it's got a high charge density slight positive charge ठीक है why is it high charge density because it's bonded to two electronegative elements one is oxygen and the other one is Cl and why is phenol unreactive in forming esters because lone pairs on phenol overlaps with so it overlaps with
सर यानी स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉजिटिव चार्ज चाहिए होता है
हाँ क्योंकि वो लोन पेयर उधर चला गया ना बाकियों में था कि कार्बन चेन में ना व्हेन यू हैव अ कार्बन चेन तो उल्टा द लोन पेयर हैज अ हाई चार्ज डेंसिटी बिकॉज द कार्बन चेन हैज एन इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनेटिंग इफेक्ट तो ये लोन पेयर एंड दिस पॉजिटिव दे गेट अट्रैक्टेड एंड so normally you have a vigorous reaction but not in the case of phenols are I mean they're kind of like alcohols but they're kind of very unreactive when it comes to ester formation ठीक है तो lone pair on phenol overlaps with the benzene pi electron cloud which kind of makes it's unavailable for ester formation. So a carboxylic acid will not be able to actually attract that lone pair. सही है, ये बात क्लियर है?
Yes, sir.
तो बाकी काम
सर
हाँ
सर जो लॉन पेयर है सर वो नॉर्मली ओवरलैप करते हैं बेंजीन पाई इलेक्ट्रॉन क्लाउड के साथ, लेकिन यहाँ पे मतलब सी के साथ अट्रैक्ट कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ, मतलब उसी के साथ ओवरलैप अभी भी उसी के साथ कर रहा है, लेकिन वो जो कार्बन है ना वो आया है दूर से और उसके ऊपर पॉजिटिव चार्ज बहुत ज्यादा है, तो इस वजह से वो लोन पेयर उधर से पुल करके वो उसको अपनी तरफ ले आया। ठीक है, और बीच में से ये HCl is gone and these two will join together. ठीक है, and an HCl molecule is produced. ठीक है, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा सो
सर
हाँ,
सर तो कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड में लाइक इसका ऑपोजिट होता था ना,
ऑपोजिट किस तरह?
मतलब वो ओवरलैप कर जाता था फिनॉल, मतलब वहां पे पाई इलेक्ट्रॉन क्लाउड के साथ, तो वो एस्टर फॉर्मेशन नहीं होती थी।
नहीं नहीं, कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड में होगा कि कार्बन के ऊपर इतना पॉजिटिव चार्ज नहीं होगा ना। ये जो कार्बन है ना, अगर यहाँ पे
यस सर।
कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड होगा, कार्बन विल नॉट हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉजिटिव चार्ज बिकॉज उसके साथ Cl अटैच नहीं है,
ओके सर।
तो उसका जो पॉजिटिव चार्ज है वो कम है। सो इफ इट्स लेसर देन इट विल नॉट अट्रैक्ट द लोन पेयर फ्रॉम, क्योंकि वो लोन पेयर वैसे ही चार्ज डेंसिटी लो है ना, तो दिस हाईली पॉजिटिव कार्बन इज एबल टू अट्रैक्ट इट। ठीक है,
ओके सर।
अच्छा सो जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस कि phenols they form esters with acyl chlorides, and another one is के amide formation। ठीक है, we'll do that as well कि acyl chlorides are very good at forming amides as well। तो अच्छा सो acyl chlorides uh, so they form amides with phenylamine। That's another reaction of acyl chlorides, and again it's something similar ke what happens is ke you've got an acyl chloride with a very strong positive charge। ठीक है, it's got a very strong positive charge, and you have a phenylamine। Phenylamine is something similar except ke अच्छा so the phenylamine is something similar except that you're not going to have OH, you'll have NH2 next to it, and N has a lone pair, but you're going to face the same issue that the lone pair is going to overlap with benzene's pi electron cloud, so charge density jo hogi na, that's going to be lesser in this case, so the lone pair is going to overlap, but because acyl chloride has a very strong carbon positive, what will eventually happen is the electrons are going to be attracted to and they're going to be pulled back, और बीच में से ना H और Cl जो है ना, that's going to get removed. And again, this reaction does not require any special conditions. Acyl chloride are able to actually complete the reaction on their own. तो उनके बीच में ना there's going to be there's going to be a reaction. The H and Cl will go away in the middle, and these two are going to they're going to eventually join up. ठीक है, that's what an amide link is. Or what's the byproduct? It's going to be HCl once more. So HCl gets formed once more. So that's amide formation. So remember this कि acyl chloride जो है ना, अच्छा, starting with the top. Okay, we did formation of esters. So esters के अंदर you had your normal esters formation, that was alcohol plus carboxylic acid, and it would form ester in water. ठीक है, we did a couple of examples. We talked about alkaline hydrolysis. We talked about acyl chlorides forming esters as well. उसके अंदर it was a very similar reaction, except you didn't have a carboxylic acid, you actually had an acyl chloride. So the only difference was कि वहाँ पे Cl होता है OH की जगह, ठीक है? So you're going to get this reaction. So here you had the other reaction, which was phenols forming esters with acyl chloride. Phenols only form esters with acyl chlorides, not with carboxylic acids. तो उसकी भी reason हमने अभी discuss की थी. And finally, they also form amides with phenylamine. That's another reaction. And again, no special conditions are needed for that. ठीक है, ये सारा clear है?
अच्छा
हाँ.
सही। तो लाइक जो सारे मतलब उसके अंदर एस्टर फॉर्मेशन के रिएक्शन, इसके अंदर कोई खास मतलब कंडीशंस की जरूरत नहीं होती थी ना?
नहीं, सिवाय वो first acyl chlorides वाला, those reactions are going to be vigorous. ठीक है, those reactions don't require any special conditions. ये जो start वाला था ना, जो normal O levels वाला था, the carboxylic acid reaction with alcohols, that is the one that requires these conditions. ठीक है, is this clear?
सर यहाँ पे एडिशन एलिमिनेशन है तो बाकी सारे में मतलब लाइक ये बाकी सारे एडिशन एलिमिनेशन होंगे ना
हाँ हाँ,
सारे?
same reaction,
ओके
exactly same है. सिर्फ difference है वहाँ पे, there's instead of OH you have a Cl, you form water, although you form H2O, so the reaction is exactly the same. चलो ठीक है, that's acyl chlorides. बस और probably इसमें कोई नहीं रहता. We'll just jump to polymers. And just 1 second, let me. So we'll start with polymers. ठीक है, that's the very last part. एक को quickly now, let me just. अच्छा, polymers भी mostly ना, that's most of it is just O level stuff. ठीक है, ये टुका syllabus. अच्छा, ये सारा nucleophilic substitution describe. अच्छा, वो सारा arenes, hydroxy compounds. Yeah, acyl chlorides with esters using this. Phenols, वो सारा भी हो गया. ठीक है, we did all of that. Phenol का basicity, we discussed that. अच्छा, then we did carboxylic acid. We did talk about the oxidation. ये सारा भी हो गया. PClC, acyl chlorides, done that. ठीक है. Acid T's का comparison, we did all of that. ये वो phenols का आ गया, esters का के phenyl benzoate, so we did that. और ये मैं explain कर देता हूँ what's phenyl benzoate. And then you have esters, amides, TK, we did that. And there's a concept, there's a reaction with primary, secondary, or tertiary amine, so we can talk about that. उसमें भी amide ही बनता है. So I'll just give you an idea what a primary, secondary, or tertiary amide is. ये हमने,
सर
हाँ,
सर इसके अंदर लिखा था फ्रीडल पता नहीं कुछ इस तरह से लिखा हुआ था, वो क्या?
वो अल्काइलेशन है ना, वो हमने इलेक्ट्रोफिलिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन में पढ़ा.
ओके
ठीक है, उसको हमने फ्रीडल क्राफ्ट्स लिखा था कि नहीं लिखा था, मतलब लेकिन अल्काइलेशन, इट्स कॉल्ड अल्काइलेशन. ठीक है, एंड एसाइलेशन, नाइट्रोजन रिडक्शन वगैरह, वी डिड ऑल ऑफ दैट. ये फिर से वो एमाइड वाला है, एजो कंपाउंड्स. ठीक है, वी डिड दैट. और फिर हाँ, ये बस एमाइड्स पे ही हम. अच्छा, वो एक so I'll just add that one के what's a primary amine, what's a secondary amine. ठीक है, I'll just talk about that quickly. It's just like a primary alcohol, secondary alcohol. ठीक है, उसके अंदर there's no difference. तो तो primary amine is one where I'm going to do the same reaction. उसका इसका reaction उसके साथ भी बनाओ primary amine के साथ और secondary. So I'll just do exactly the same reaction. You've got an acyl chloride, and that acyl chloride is reacting with a primary amine. A primary amine is one that has only, it's going to have NH2 and one carbon chain. So same thing, the N lone pairs are going to get attracted to the, so it's going to get attracted to the carbon that's positive, ठीक है? And बीच में से the HCl molecule is going to be, it's going to be eliminated. So you'll have your product. Okay, so your product is going to be formed. और साथ HCl, so this HCl goes away and अच्छा इन सारे reactions का ना वो shorter version भी है मेरे पास. I'll send that after this when we start doing past papers with this. So you got this thing, that's and HCl is produced. So anyways, that's your primary amine. So same cheese, what would be a secondary amine? Secondary amine में क्या होगा? There's just going to be, so if you have a secondary amine, तो so your secondary amine is just going to have 2 carbon chains. So everything will be exactly the same, except that secondary amine is going to have another CH3 over here. So that makes it a secondary amine because the N has 2 carbon chains. You clear bath? So as a result, you're going to have CH3 over here as well. That's it. So अच्छा मैंने गलत वाले वो कर दिया, वो बस ठीक है, उसको कर दिया.
सर इसका फर्क दोबारा बता दो.
नहीं, फर्क वही है कि if N has 1 carbon chain, the amine has 1 carbon chain, that's primary amine. If the N has 2 carbon chains, that is secondary amine. ठीक है, clear है?
यस सर, बस रिएक्शन में कोई फर्क नहीं होगा.
नहीं, रिएक्शन तो वही है, कोई फर्क नहीं है. और वो फिनाइल अमाइन है, ठीक है. So you've got amines, you've got primary amines, you've got secondary amines. Tertiary amine का reaction नहीं होगा क्योंकि उसमें third side पे भी there's going to be a carbon chain. So the carbon cannot bond anywhere because all sides you got a carbon chain. So there's not going to be any reaction. But every time it's going to be an amide that's going to be formed. Amide क्या होता है? An amide is C double bond O with N. In this case में ना that's what your amide is. ठीक है, that's what your amide looks like. अच्छा, अब आ जाते हैं उसके ऊपर, पॉलीमर्स के ऊपर. अच्छा, so polymers. ये primary amines, hydrolysis of amides, reduction of CO group, ये हम कर चुके reduction. Weaker bases, we compared that early on, ठीक है. So and polymerization. अच्छा, first thing, amino acids. Amino acids we can do right now. वो पहले कर लेते हैं. अच्छा, hydrolysis. अच्छा, remember hydrolysis. हाँ जी.
सर वो अमाइनो एसिड्स का सिर्फ ये पूछना था कि सर उसका वो बफर क्या जो था वो सर आएगा इस दफा सर उसमें एडेड है.
Amino acid is a buffer.
हाँ सर उसकी लाइक वो पता नहीं बफर का मैंने सिलेबस में देखा था तो लाइक वो है.
हाँ.
ओके सर.
नहीं, लेकिन एज अ बफर जैसा के वगैरह का वो नहीं होगा, लेकिन एज अ बफर तो होगा. उसको ज्विटरैन कहते हैं, ठीक है. वो भी कर लेते हैं, कवर कर लेते हैं. Acha, just one little thing over here: hydrolysis, acid, and alkaline hydrolysis of amides. Same as esters. So if you have an amide, so what will happen is, okay, let's say this is a primary amine that has made an amide. So what's going to happen is that the bond is going to break, TK, in the middle. The amide is going to break. This side will turn back into a carboxylic acid. And this other side will turn into an amine. As it's going to turn into an amine, okay? So that is what's going to happen. But the thing is, if you have an acid hydrolysis, remember acid hydrolysis, mein the amine is basic. So if there is acid around, the amine is going to react with it. Okay, so what will happen is, okay, it's going to become R or NHH. N has a lone pair, so the H plus one, because there's an acid around, so they're going to form a dative bond, and it's going to form a positive ion. Okay, it's going to react with the acid. If you have alkaline hydrolysis, तो फिर क्या होगा कि the carboxylic acid is the one which would actually end up reacting with the alkali and will end up forming a salt. Okay, it's going to get neutralized by the alkali. So just remember this, whether it's acid hydrolysis or alkaline hydrolysis, one of your compounds that is formed is acidic, the other compound is basic. So the basic compound will end up reacting with the acid if it's acid hydrolysis. Vice versa, if it's alkaline hydrolysis, तो फिर ये react कर जाएगा. So this is the reverse of the reaction that we just did. It's the breaking down of the amine. Is that clear? अच्छा, so ये बाकी चीजें हम कर चुके हैं.
सर अल्कलाइन में सॉल्ट फॉर्म होगा?
दोनों में सॉल्ट फॉर्म होगा.
ओके.
लेकिन वो है कि दोनों में दो अलग अलग चीजें रिएक्ट करेंगी ना.
यस.
अच्छा, फिर अमीनो एसिड्स, वेटराइंस, आइसोइलेक्ट्रिक पॉइंट, फॉर्मेशन ऑफ tribe. अच्छा, इसमें we'll probably do electrophoresis as well, although that's an analytical technique, ठीक है, but we'll probably do it right now, ठीक है. अच्छा, what's an amino acid? ठीक है, that's your basic building block of proteins, ठीक है. So amino acids is the monomer which combines, and when lots of monomers combine, they end up forming a protein. Okay, you get primary, secondary, and tertiary structures. So all sorts of complex structures are produced. Okay, that's your macromolecule. That's your polymer. So basically, what is an amino acid? An amino acid is a carbon atom, which on one side is bonded to a carboxylic acid. On the other side, it's bonded to so it's bonded to a carboxylic acid on one side. On the other side, it's bonded to an amine, like NH2. There's going to be an R group that will be, and that R group could be anything. And on one side, there's an H. Okay, that's going to be attached. So that's the basic structure of what an amino acid looks like.
सर
तो
एक साइड बेसिक, दूसरी साइड एसिडिक.
हाँ, तो उसके अंदर ना दो ग्रुप्स हैं. One is acidic, the other one is a basic group, ठीक है, which is why it's called an amino acid. ठीक है, it's called amine and it's called a carboxylic acid. And they're like 19, 20, 19 different amino acids that make up the human body. It's just a combination of these 19 की combinations होती हैं बहुत ज़्यादा बन जाती हैं, ठीक है? Like if you have a chain, lots of amino acids. So those amino acids could be arranged in many different ways. ठीक है? तो
सर
हाँ
सर हमें तो वो सिस्टीन और ग्लूटामाइन वो तो याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना?
नहीं वो पहले था इसमें सिलेबस में होता था अब नहीं है ठीक है तो between amino acids only the R group is different so otherwise the structure is exactly the same तो for example अगर एग्जांपल करें ना अमीनो एसिड्स के तो एक दो वैसे याद कर लो अगर बायो आती है तो ये कौन सा होता है if it's got CH3 तो इसका क्या नाम होगा ठीक है similarly if you I mean I'm just giving you examples there would be another amino acid किसी को पता है if there's a methyl group R group methyl हो so then you might have CH with two CH3 branches so this is definitely valine so you also have एक aspartic acid है ठीक है remember that's CH2 it's got CH2 and it's got a carboxylic acid group फिर there's another one which is lysine ठीक है बस याद रखना you don't have to memorize them they'll actually give you ठीक है lysine is the 4 CH2s 4 times and then there's an NH2 ठीक है so these R groups could be different पहला वाला पता नहीं कौन सा alanine है I think हाँ ठीक है alanine so the first one was alanine there's one which has H as well अच्छा but this one is alanine so anyways that's your typical amino acid molecule that's glycine the one with one H cysteine होता है that's got sulfur in it ठीक है so okay you've got different types of R groups now the first thing is इसी का polymer कर लेते हैं that is definitely polypeptides होंगे amino acids नहीं प्रोटीन किधर चला गया निकल गया just a second type of polymerization ठीक है that's fine amino हाँ the reaction अच्छा polyamides ठीक है that's still there अच्छा so we'll discuss quickly how so I'll just do one very quickly this is known as the primary structure of proteins ठीक है so you'll be asked to draw very simple peptide molecules so we're going to draw the primary structure which is it just tells you in which order they're all attached together so basic it's just simple polypeptides okay so we're going to draw one simple polypeptide so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw all 4 of these and connect them together so that's one okay that's another one here I have the third one and I have the fourth one, ठीक है, which is lysine. अच्छा, so all of them are together. ठीक है, I'm going to ये हटा देता हूँ the circles. Now the simple reaction is going to be that it's going to be the same exact reaction. The N and the C are going to join together, or beach में से the H and OH are going to be removed. So H and OH, it's going to be a condensation polymer that's going to be formed. Either bina H and OH are going to be removed, H or आगे bina H and OH are going to be removed, and they will end up forming a polypeptide chain. So the middle part is just like condensation reactions that we just did. A carboxylic acid and an amine are going to join together. ये सारे हटा दो बीच में से, H and OH gone. ठीक है, let's say only 4 of them connected. So this joins with this joins with this joins with this. So that's your condensation polymerization for the formation of polypeptides.
सर डिफरेंट मोनोमर्स भी हो सकते हैं ना?
Different ही है सारे.
अच्छा.
ये amino acids के बीच में ना, so I've drawn a simple, so you'll be asked to draw very simple polypeptides. They might give you 2 के dipeptide draw कर लो, tripeptide, this is a tetrapeptide, ठीक है. They won't ask you to actually draw a tetrapeptide, but अच्छा, this is your peptide link. ये जो बीच में, हाँ,
एमाइंस के स्ट्रक्चर देंगे या फिर याद करने देंगे?
नहीं वो दे देंगे, वो याद नहीं करना. पहले डेटा बुकलेट में होते थे, अभी भी एक्चुअली डेटा बुकलेट में, लेकिन डेटा बुकलेट नहीं है अब. अच्छा, that's your amide or peptide. Biology में it's called peptide. So that's it. As I remember, so your polymer formation for proteins, that's up till this point. Past paper karoge na, you'll find a lot more complicated questions related to biology, but that's no longer in your course. The only structure, the only basic stuff that you have to know is they'll give you the amino acid, okay, like this, and they'll ask you to join them together to form a very simple polypeptide chain. Okay, maybe a dipeptide, maybe a tripeptide. That's about it. So that's how it's going to work. ठीक है, और बस यही है, इसमें यही है. उसका फिर वो Zwitterans वगैरह. So we've started analytical and we've started polymers now. ठीक है, तो ये फिर organic हमारी खत्म हो गई. Polymers I'll probably connect that with, क्योंकि end वाला part है ना, that's kind of connected together with analytical. चलिए,
सर,
हाँ जी,
तेरी पॉलिमराइजेशन का पहला पार्ट था.
कौन से?
ये जो आपने लाइक ये मतलब पॉलीमर्स बनाए सर, ये मतलब आपने पॉलिमराइजेशन मतलब स्टार्ट कर लिया ना अभी से?
हाँ, स्टार्ट हो गया, वो उसी के साथ मिक्स है, लेकिन स्टार्ट हो गया. लेकिन हम थोड़ा सा मेरे ख्याल से वो इधर प्रॉब्ली इसको करके ना, विल प्रॉब्ली नहीं, पॉलीमर्स हम कर लेंगे, उसके बाद फिर पास पेपर्स करते हैं ऑर्गेनिक के. ठीक है,
ओके.
चले, ओके, ठीक है.